The last problem here gives us one more graph with two functions on it, f and g. And the first question we are asked is to decide which function value is greater at a given input. So on the first one, we're looking at f of 2 and g of 2. Which one is bigger? So I'm going to look here. Hey, when my input, remember which is down here, my x values, when my input is 2, f is down here at 4, and g is up here at 7.5, so g of 2 is bigger. When I move my input over to 4, well, now I look and actually, wait a minute, they're the same, they're both 7, so they're both equal here. F of 6 or g of 6, so now we're at 6. In this case, they've now switched places, so f, which is up here, is bigger than g. And then f of 8 or g of 8, let's see, 8's right there. Well, in this case, they're closer, but f is still the greater, has the greater output, has the greater function value. The second part of this problem, we want to figure out, is there a value of x where this equation is true, where f of x equals g of x? Well, we actually found one of those in the first part. We found that when x was 4, f of 4 and g of 4 were both 7. So that's one place where this is true, when x equals 4. So we can say yes. Now this happens actually one other time too, though. If I look over here, when x is 9, we have another scenario where f of x and g of x both have the same output value. This time it's right around, 5.7 or 5.8. The last part of this problem says to identify at least two values of x where the inequality f of x is less than g of x is true. Now there's tons of answers you can put here, but all we really need to make sure we do is find where f of x is less than g of x. So that means on the graph, I need f to be the y-coordinate of it to be lower than g. So anywhere in here, right, all of this would work. Over here in the middle does not work, but over here on the right side also works. So I can pick a bunch of different values. I could use x equals 1, I could use x equals 2, x equals 3, those all work. Or I could use x equals 10, x equals 11, x equals 12, those all work as well. Remember, you don't have to use just whole numbers here because these functions are continuous. We can use decimals. So if you really wanted to be fancy about it, you could also say, hey, x could be like 1.7, right? That's right around here, where f is still definitely less than g. So you have tons of options for this third one, but I just picked out some of them.